G, did you just lock us out? Shalom, shalom. Welcome to the channel, y'all. My 1-year-old just locked me out of my room. Oh no, we're good. She didn't lock me out. G, let me get back in. So, I wanted to hop on here and share something with you. If you haven't watched already, the video we did maybe a month ago, the American disadvantage in Africa, check it out. But I came up with a new topic today. It's along the same lines, but I was watching a few videos just because I was curious, because I realized that not only is the Black diaspora leaving America and the West and all these other countries, but white folks in America and other nations in America are also leaving America. And so I came across this video. I'm so sorry, guys. My daughter, she just wants to close the door. But yes, I came across this video of this couple that was white. I think they were also mixed with Argentina, however I should properly say that. They were white and from Argentina, and so they were going to Portugal. And so they sold their house and left everything that they had in America to go to Portugal in their 50s because they loved it and all these things. And their 2 grown sons, they also live in Europe. They left America for, I think, France and what was the other one? I don't know. France, but the parents are in Portugal. And so as I'm watching the channel throughout the time that they've decided to leave America, I realize that I'm hearing similar sentiments that I hear also from Black people in the diaspora that have left America. And so this tells me across different communities and different nations that there's a fundamental problem with America and Americans when we leave the West. This could also go for the UK and British, but the reason I say Americans is because America isn't quite like any other nation on earth. That's the reason that it's called Babylon. You know, Babylon is the place that everybody wants to go to, that everybody wants to copy after. And so as they're going through Portugal, they're looking for a house and they're like, wow, like life is slower here. Like that was a disadvantage for them. They were like, things aren't really how we want them to be. It's not as manicured, right? It's not as manicured and appearing to be as cute as America is. And so they were like, man, we haven't been able to find a house that fits our standards. We feel like Portugal just isn't for us after spending 6 months to a year there. And so now they're on the move again because they didn't verbalize this. But as I'm listening, what I'm hearing is what they're looking for is another smaller America in Europe. And I've never been to Europe, so I don't know how different it is than America. Someone that's been to both America and Europe, let me know. But it seems like it was a slower pace of life and that it was a little more, especially, I don't even think they were in like a main city. I think they were on the outskirts of Lisbon or something like that. And so they were seeing like lots of cows and goats and all these different things. I've even talked to a lady in Israel who's from America, and how she described living in Israel is completely opposite of America. And so I'm saying all of this to say that the reason Americans, at times, not all Americans, but a lot of Americans have issues abroad and always want to go back to America, or they're like, oh my goodness, the world is horrible. There's no better place than America, and all their police brutality and all the consumerism and all the hatred and all these things and these deep ingrained problems that people mentally can't escape from, is because it's a heart position of, I love America. I want my manicured streets. I want my manicured house. I want my manicured everything served up to me. I want corruption served up to me in a legal fashion. I don't want to see it in my face. I want to pretend corruption's not there in America. I don't want to deal with anything that's going to make me be patient. I don't want to grow food. I don't want to cook actual food. I'd rather have fast food, rather have everything quickly, rather have this place of like entertainment and roller coasters and fanciful everything, right? And so as I'm listening to them, I'm just like, man, America has messed not only black folks up, but white folks. Because life, the reality is life in most of the world is not like America. And so the problem is that people coming to America, because they see commercials of America on TV, whites, blacks, everybody. This is what I'm talking about now. I'm talking about humanity as a whole right now, because this is a problem that I'm seeing. Asians, whoever they are that go to America and want to go there, they're like, oh, everything's manicured, everything's going to be great. And so for a lot of white folks and Europeans, it is great. For black folks, on the other hand, it's not great, and it never has been great, and it never will be great in these societies where they want you to work 40 hours per week, maybe even 60 hours per week, and then they steal your retirement from you like they did my dad. So let's, but I'm not going to get into that in this video. I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, but yeah, the issue is America. And so when people who are from America leave America, a lot of times we expect, everything should look as manicured and be as beautiful. And I shouldn't see anybody having any type of hardship, because, oh my goodness, if I see anybody having some type of hardship, that means that the whole, place is horrible. And it's not like America, where they sweep stuff under the rug and legalize corruption in the biggest formats ever, and do all these, rituals behind the scenes and cast all these various spells, And so that's just something that I've noticed, and it's something that I want you to be aware of as you're preparing to leave America as a black person in the diaspora. Because it's not just black people that are saying it about leaving America, it's white people too. Check it out. If you're thinking about leaving America, you definitely should check out like travel videos from not just people that look like us, but just listen to some of the things that white people say about Europe and vice versa, to understand like, okay, what is the what's the reality of living abroad and moving abroad, and what are some of those problems that people encounter. I think a lot of problems people encounter are internal problems that are then propelled externally. And so that's something that people have to deal with. You'll have to deal with it. I had to deal with it. Everybody has to deal with it. It's not like the end of the world. But you should be aware of that and take note of that when you're on YouTube and you're consuming content, and then you're feeling like, man, I shouldn't go abroad because I might, see things that don't look exactly like America. I might see people and realize that everywhere isn't a utopia and the world is not the kingdom of heaven, right? The reality is that we live in a world that does not mirror heaven at all by any means. And so, yeah, take everything with a grain of salt, but enjoy your time and look for the beauty. Like when you're reading your Bible, when you're reading your scriptures, really try to see things through the Most High's lens. Because, and I always go back to this, but I'm going to say it again. I'm going to give you two Bible stories for your perspective. The first one is when the Israelites were going into the land. And the Israelite spies that went out were Caleb and Joshua. And they went out and they're like, oh, the land is good. Like, it's flowing with milk and honey. The land is great. Look at the land. We see the giants in there, but we can take them down. Let's go, y'all. And the Israelites, they're like, no, we can't take them down. No, we ain't taking them down. We staying right here in the wilderness, and we're going back to bondage, right? So you choose what reaction you're going to have. The next one is this story of the prophet Elijah in the Bible. And I like this story because whenever people are leaving the West and leaving things, comforts and convenience and consumerism and all these different infrastructures and principalities, that's literally what they are. When they're leaving these principalities, and then you come out and you're like, man, the whole world is captivated by America. And you do realize that coming to Africa. And from what I've heard also, when people go to Asia, when people go to Europe, when people go anywhere in the world, you realize that everyone idolizes America and is captivated by America. And so the prophet Elijah, he was dealing with Jezebel. wanting to kill him, literally kill him, running away. He was scared for his life. And he's praying to the Most High. He's like, Most High, like, am I all alone? Like, I'm the last good person on earth, which, first of all, the Bible says none is good. So please, folks, be humble. And then number two, he's like, am I the last righteous one on earth that actually cares about the Most High? And the Most High's like, no. I have 700 prophets that have not bowed down to the devil. 700. Like, that's not a small number. 700. Not 20, not 30, not 300, not 500. 700 that have not bowed down the knee to the devil. And so I want you to carry those stories with you as you exit Babylon, or as you're in Africa or in a different region of the world. If you're watching this from a different region of the world and you just moved to the islands or something, everything isn't bad, but everything is your perspective and your perception, and whether or not you're able to love and view things through the lens of the Most High, because the Most High is love, the greatest love, you know. Actually, I'm sorry, y'all. One more story came to mind. I just had to, okay. One more. This last one is the third story that I'll tell. It's from the Bible as well, and it's technically not a story. It's drawing a conclusion. So if you're familiar with the Bible and the New Testament, if you're not familiar with the Bible, you should read it from front to back. You really should. You'll be shocked. But anyway, the New Testament, talking about who many call who many call Jesus. We say Yahusha. When he comes, you have to think of the context and the reality of his coming. When he came to Israel, it was occupied by Romans. Here's the conclusion I'm drawing. Right now, Africa is occupied by Roman descendants, right? And so he's coming and he's like, I'm coming to save my people. First of all, when he comes in a humble way. He's like, don't tell people I'm here. Don't tell people I'm healing people. Don't tell everybody what I'm doing, right? And so he's coming through, he's healing, and he's doing all these things. There's a point where he has to flip the table. There's points where he's crying and he's saying, if anybody thirsts, let them come to me. There's points where he's healing, and I'm sure, like, when I visualize how it went down, like, he's talking to his people, he's enjoying his people. And from a Pharisee standpoint, or a Roman standpoint, or the standpoint of anything that's contrary to the Most High, they were looking at him and they're like, how are you sitting with these sinners? How are you sitting with these people that are oppressed? How are you sitting with them? Like, you're literally sitting right here with them. What are you doing with them? You're not supposed to be with them. Israel isn't like it was back in the days. We're under Roman occupation. All these things are going on. You should not be enjoying this right now. You should not be healing right now. You shouldn't be, going forth and teaching these people all these things. These people don't deserve it, right? That's what they thought. That was a lot of people's response to him. Some of the Pharisees, also the Romans, and all of these different entities. But he's like, no, I know who I am. I came for the lost sheep. I came for my people. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what they look like. It doesn't matter what my land looks like. It's still mine. And so he literally sacrificed his life for his people. Literally. And so I'm telling you that story to put some perspective into your move to Africa, because this is our land. This is literally our land, and it's such a beautiful place if you allow yourself to see beauty. But you have to allow yourself to see it. You can't allow YouTube to dictate what beauty is for you. You can't allow other people's negativity to dictate what beauty is for you. And a lot of times you're just going to have to rebuke people on the spot and say, no, it is not so. That is not how it is. But it's your life to live. It's your choice. The Bible also says, my last scripture I'll give for you guys is, choose ye this day who you will follow. And so choose for yourself if you will return to Babylon after coming to Africa, or if you will stay in Africa and literally see the beauty of this land. And it's beautiful. Like, we were just in the mountains a few days ago, and every time we go up there, the children, it's just so cute. The children, not our children were in school at the time, But the children, they're just always waving, and just like the grandma's there, they're just waving, and they're like, Karibu, you know, and, you know, you're just next to this village, and it's literally like, wow, this, like, I can't believe this is life. I really can't believe it. It's amazing. And this is only 2 years in, and it's like, wow, what will this even look like 5 years from now? It's incredible. It's like, wow. Even just seeing different Tanzanian-owned businesses, black businesses, just seeing black people in their imperfection, but still trying to unify, and still trying to be tuko pamoja, and still trying to love and fix things. Like, that's love. Love isn't this picture of perfection and like manicured, you know, like the West would have us think, and all these like, oh, all these moments. Love is literally forgiveness. That's love. And so, love Africa, forgive yourself, forgive people, love yourself, forgive yourself, and enjoy Africa. Before I go, our book is ready. I hope at the time this video is uploaded, I have the link in the description for you. And it covers our journey throughout Africa in a way that I haven't told it, because when I write, I explain things better than when I speak. When I write, it's kind of supernatural. It's a great thing. And so check it out. It's called Hakuna Matata, A Journey Home. And it covers from the time we left in 2020 to now, where we are now, what we're doing now, what we hope to do in the future. Incredible stories are included in there, like the time I had to give birth at home and I was on bed rest for 5 months in a foreign country. It turned out incredible, like most things in our life, thanks to the Most High. But yeah, check it out. It's filled with the stories that you don't hear on here, the stories that will make you be inspired and make you keep going and make you chase what you desire and what you've been called to in life. That's the purpose of Hakuna Matata, A Journey Home. It also has business tips and a lot of practical tips, because we're not just going to give you a bunch of inspiration and all these talks and political things without also giving you actionable tips for you to take right now. Check that out. Check out our course, Dream Life in Africa. Link in the description. I think I'll have a coupon code available for you as you prep to leave the West. Enjoy your life in Africa. Enjoy your life abroad. Enjoy the goodness of the Most High, no matter what it looks like. Salama.